May 11th, it's officially over, and I have all the details right here in the video. Let's get into it and discuss what's going on. Alright, now in this video, I do want to discuss May 11th and what is ending on this day, as this is a topic we've been covering for the last few years here, and it's going to be very impactful for a lot of people. Therefore, we should probably talk through all the details and let you know what's going on here, as well as who will be impacted by these changes. However, really fast before we do, thank you so much for joining me. If you're new here, or if you haven't done so yet, please make sure to subscribe by hitting the button right down below the video, as it's totally free to do so, and because I am your one and only daily advocate. Not only that, because we are rapidly approaching 500,000 subscribers right here on the channel, which is absolutely amazing, and I truly appreciate your support. So again, please remember, I'm here for you every single day, no matter what, as that is my dedication, my commitment, and my promise to you and everybody right here in the community, as it's a very busy, confusing, and uncertain time that we're currently living through, which is exactly why I'm watching all this new information, hitting the wire, I'm doing the research and breaking it down into these short videos so you can stay updated with what's actually going on, and most importantly, how it's going to impact you, your money, your benefits, your lifestyle, your bank account, and of course, anything showing up right now you can possibly grab and or take advantage of. So again, thanks so much for joining me. I truly do appreciate your support. Please remember, I'm here for you as much as I possibly can be to help you out in any way that I possibly can. So please subscribe down below and let's get into it and talk about May 11th, what is going on this day, as it is officially over according to what they're telling us, and we need to focus on this because I've been talking about this for the last 3 years since this was brought into fruition. So let's talk through what all this means. All right, now it all comes down to the Public Health Emergency Declaration. Yeah, that word again, right? We've talked about this so many times over the last 3 years. In fact, way back in early 2020, so over 3 years ago, was when this originally went into play. Now, back then, obviously, things were very different than what they are right now, right? Remember those days? It was so uncertain. It was such a confusing time, and nobody knew, like, anything that was going on. It was kind of an interesting time, right? We were told to stay at home, don't come out, don't even peek your nose out of the door, right? Remember those days? Oh man, that was kind of interesting. Kind of a very kind of weird time to live through, right? Either way, here we are over 3 years later, and they back then, about, over 3 years ago, back in early 2020, they instituted the Public Health Emergency Declaration. Okay, so what does this mean, and what are all the details about it? Well, obviously, we know that a couple months ago, in March of this year, 2023, the extra allotment for SNAP benefits, which was also one of the benefits of the Public Health Emergency Declaration being in play, unfortunately did expire. So that extra allotment, the extra $95 for those households, or the boost up to the maximum for your household size, unfortunately disappeared in March, right? So February was the last month that those benefits went out. That was one of the major benefits of the Public Health Emergency Declaration being in play. However, that is one of the aspects. Now, as we continue to approach the deadline of this thing, obviously a lot of these other things have also been winding down. Now, this was actually supposed to expire in mid-April, but they extended it out for another 30 days out until May 11th. Now, again, this is it according to what they're telling us. However, I've mentioned this before in other videos. Really quickly, I'm going to throw this out there really quickly as well. It is set to expire on this day, May 11th, but I still would not be surprised at all if they come in at the very last minute and say, we're going to extend it out yet again for another 30 days or 60 days or something like that. I wouldn't be shocked to see that. They've done that so many times before. But as of right now, it looks like it's probably going to be ending as of May 11th, okay? So we have to anticipate that. But again, I wouldn't be shocked at all if they came in for some reason and extended it out for another 30 days or so. But as of right now, it looks like that may not be happening yet. But we'll see here over the coming days. Either way, I'll keep you posted on that. But here's the bigger factor that we want to take into consideration, because this is also going to impact a lot of low-income and fixed-income beneficiaries, and that is the purging of the Medicaid rolls, okay? Let me talk you through the details about this. It does not mean that everybody is going to lose Medicaid coverages. However, there are a lot of people that will be losing Medicaid coverages, and we probably want to talk about it for a minute here. All right, so remember this much as well. I'm talking about Medicaid, not Medicare. Big difference, okay? So I just want to make that very clear. Medicaid, not Medicare. All right, so here's what it comes down to. So basically over the last 3 years or so, as the Public Health Emergency Declaration has been in play, basically what happens is pretty much anybody that is enrolled in Medicare or submitted an application to sorry, I said Medicare. I meant to say Medicaid. Again, there I am, slipping up. Sorry about that. Medicaid. Okay. I hope I got that into my head now. Okay, Medicaid. Sorry. All right, so here's what we're talking about. So basically over the last 3 years or so, virtually anybody that has applied for Medicaid coverages has pretty much been accepted to get these coverages because states have not been allowed to purge their rolls, as in those people enrolled in Medicaid during these last couple of years here, because that was kind of the deal with this federal funding that has been going into it and the whole public health emergency declaration being in play. So as a result of that, we've had a huge increase in people enrolled in Medicaid over the last 3 years or so. In fact, just as of right now, according to the statistics, about 100 million people are enrolled in Medicaid. That's a huge percentage of our population. That's about 30 or so percent of our population. It's a lot of people, right? Considering our population in the United States is about 333 to 334 million people. So a lot, almost a third of the population is enrolled in Medicaid, right? So it's a lot of people. However, here's what's happening. As a result of the expiration or cancellation of the public health emergency declaration, now these states are going to need to go in and start purging the rolls of Medicaid, because there's a lot of people that are enrolled in Medicaid that may not actually be eligible based on the criteria, as in income and all kinds of things like this, because they weren't necessarily checking all of that over the last few years here, and they're basically just giving everybody access to Medicaid during this period of time. So as a result of that, now all of these states will go in and start purging these rolls. Remember this much as well. Medicaid is kind of an interesting thing. It's like a lot of these other programs. It's federally funded, but it is managed by the states individually, right? So it's just like the SNAP program and like the LIHEAP program, the Low Income Home Energy Assistance program. There's a lot of these programs out there that are set up the exact same way. They basically get money from the federal government, but on a state-by-state basis, that is how they are managed. Well, same thing goes with Medicaid. So when it comes down to it, all of these states will need to go through their rolls and start determining, okay, are these, who's actually eligible for Medicaid coverages here with all of the millions of people that they have enrolled within their respective states. So they'll have to go through these, and unfortunately, a lot of people will start losing Medicaid coverages. Now, I've seen a lot of different statistics out there. In fact, according to the most recent numbers, I've seen numbers ranging from 6 million to 25 million people will be losing Medicaid. That's a huge spread. Why such a huge spread? I'm not really sure. To be honest with you, I've seen numbers all across the board from 6 million to 12 million to 14 million to 15 to 17 to 21 million to 25 million. I mean, seriously, there's numbers all across the board. So why the huge discrepancy? Good question. But again, these are the numbers, and this is the spread that I'm seeing out there as far as how many people would be purged from Medicaid. So not necessarily a good situation, but this is something, unfortunately, that will be happening. So this is one of the other kind of major downfalls of the public health emergency declaration going into, basically canceling or basically expiring as a result of May 11th. So this is what's going to happen here, and looks like they're going forward with it. Now, there's been a lot of controversy about this public health emergency declaration being extended out time and time again over the last several years because, some lawmakers have been coming out suggesting, why do you keep extending this? And basically what it comes down to, and again, I don't take political sides in my videos or anything like that, but here's what I've been able to find, because I've always been wondering too, what's their motive behind this? Like, why do they keep extending this out? I'm not saying it's a good or bad thing. I'm just kind of curious why. I'm always a very curious person. I'm always, wondering why they're doing different things, why they're making different decisions, why they're announcing different things. I always want to know why, right? I'm always asking why. Why'd they do that? Why'd they say that? Why'd this person do this? You know what I mean? That's what I'm always doing. But what I found is basically what's happening is that, with the public health emergency declaration in place, they're basically able to say that, hey, look at this. All of these millions of people have enrolled in healthcare coverages. So by more people enrolling in Medicaid, now they're allowed to say, hey, look at this. We've had a 17% increase in people enrolled in healthcare coverages in the last 3 months or whatever it happens to be. So they have these huge numbers that you get to report and say, look at this. We're covering all these people with healthcare coverages. Yes, true, but unfortunately, it's temporary in some of these cases, right? So that is what I've been able to find about this. Now, whether that's truly the case or not, who knows, right? I mean, obviously somebody knows, but this is the information that I've been able to find. But this is something else that's ending out there. Now, a couple of the things that are also going to be ending as a result of this are things like free COVID tests. And again, I know that there's a lot of, controversy floating around about this, and here I'm not here to take sides or say that we should all go out and do this or anything like that. I'm not here to say any of that at all. I'm simply saying, as a result of the public health emergency declaration expiring, these are some of the things that will also be going away as well. The free COVID tests that many of us have been ordering from the website covidtests.gov. Actually, to be honest with you, I haven't been on that website in quite a while, so I'm not even sure if it's still available or if those tests are still there. But as a result of it, it sounds like those are no longer a thing, as in the free tests are no longer a thing anymore. And even things like, the vaccinations and all kinds of other stuff like that, it sounds like we'll have to start paying for that if that's something that we want going forward. So again, I'm not here pushing anything. I'm not here saying we should all go and do it. I'm not saying that we should or shouldn't. I'm just simply telling you this is some of the effects of the public health emergency declaration going away. But like I said earlier, one of the big major factors that many of us were looking forward to and that we're really enjoying as a result of this was the extra allotment for SNAP benefits that expired back in March. So yeah, that was a pretty nice one, but unfortunately that's been gone for a while, and we've been seeing all the reports coming out recently talking about this hunger cliff, right? A lot of people getting, nowhere near the amount of food that they need, especially yet again, the low income and fixed income. Interesting how that happens, right? Always interesting how it seems like the low income and fixed income always seem to get the short end of the stick on virtually everything. Why is that? Does anybody have an answer for that? Because I've always been wondering, why do these low income and fixed income beneficiaries always seem to get, I don't know. Would it be fair to say taken advantage of? I mean, would that be a fair assessment? I don't know. Maybe that's fair. Maybe it's not. I'm not really sure, but it just seems like that's what it always seems to be the case. So just super annoying, right? Anyway, these are the details. This is what I want to bring to your attention, and this is what's going down as of May 11th. So, of course, I'll continue to keep you posted on this as I do get more details on this or anything else going on right now. Of course, I'll be right here for you, breaking it all down into these short videos. But I feel like this is something that we should probably talk about, just because I've been covering it for so many years now. I mean, I've literally been talking about this for like 3 years now, maybe 2.5 years, since we started talking about this way back when they brought this into fruition and they instituted this back in early 2020. So probably something we should keep an eye on. But at the end of the day, unless they extend it yet again, it's pretty much over. But, at the end of the day, the extra allotment for SNAP benefits, which was the really big one there, that's been gone for a while now. Unfortunately, would have been nice if they brought it back. Either way, I'll keep you posted as I do get more details on anything. There's a lot of things that are going on right now. It's a very busy time. And again, like I said, it's very confusing with everything happening right now. It's like, what is going to happen next, right? Well, that's why we're going to continue watching everything closely. So again, please subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet. Share the video with your friends, family, social media, and go back and check out any of the other thousands of videos here on the channel. Until next time, enjoy your day, have a good one, take care, and I'll catch you again later in the next video.